check-ins already on Echolink. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey net control station for this evening's edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Welcome everybody to the net. Before we start the net, is there any emergency traffic for the net? Okay, hearing none, QST, QST, QST. This is Jerry, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control operator for this evening's edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, originating from the Maltese Islands. This net meets every 2 weeks on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central European Time to discuss topics related to amateur radio and the island's ham radio clubs. This is a directed net, and all calls should go through net control. The net is available on the 9H1 UHF repeater, Echolink's 9H1 UHF-R node, also on the Gozo repeater, and can be monitored via a YouTube live stream called 9H-HAM GlobalNet, and GlobalNet is one word. Special thanks to 9 Hotel 1 Sugar Fox Stephen and 9H5 Fox Alpha Tony for making this possible, and it's a wonderful idea, and I hope we can keep it going. I'd also like to thank 9H5SN Marco and 9H1GP Mark for allowing the use of the 9H1 UHF-R repeater. I would like to also thank the trustees and those who keep the repeater and Gozo going, and to 9H5 Yankee Victor Glenn for allowing us to use the same branding as the 9H-HAM radio Facebook page which he administers. To join and participate, please connect to the 9H1 UHF repeater, the 9H1-R link on Echolink, the Gozo repeater, or else you can also contact us via Jitsi as well, and I will give some more information about that. Listeners may also connect to the 9H-HAM room on Jitsi Meet at https://meet.jit.si/9HAM, and I'll repeat that. https://meet.jit.si/9HAM, and I'll give a pause.
Jerry, we are with you. We tried on the link there, but we couldn't get through. Jerry, over.
Yeah, that's fine, Joe. I'll take check-ins in a moment. Thank you. Okay, continuing with the net. Let's see where I was on the preamble here. The agenda for tonight's net will be the following. First of all, the obvious, check-ins. Any announcements you may have that are related to either the clubs or ham radio activities on the island, and then perhaps we'll open it up for a general discussion. And the discussion topic for tonight is, what do you want to hear on the net? And just think about it. If you have any comments or feedback, please let me know when you check in by saying I do have traffic for the net. This is Net Control, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, and I will pause periodically for late check-ins. Okie dokie, let's start check-ins on the nets. I will now take check-ins from mobile stations only. Please give your call sign twice, slowly and phonetically, and also give your name and advise if you have any traffic or announcements for tonight's net. Please allow 5 seconds between check-ins. Mobile stations only. Please come now. Okay, I haven't heard any check-ins from mobile stations, but I'll call a second time. Any mobile stations wishing to check in to the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, come now, please. Okay, hearing none, I will now take check-ins from stations connected to the 9H1 UHF repeater. Please leave a 5-second pause between check-ins, and I will read call signs back when I hear no further check-ins. Check-ins that are from ham radio stations, I'll get this right, who are connected to the 9H1 UHF repeater.
Nine H5 Sierra November. This is 9H5 Sierra November. Checking in.
9H1 Golf Papa. Good evening, everybody. No traffic, but nice to hear the first net going on. Doing very good, Jerry. Very good net control. 9H1 Golf Papa checking in also.
Hey, 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox. No traffic at the moment, but I am here. Good evening to everybody. No traffic at the present time.
Very good. I have 9 Hotel 5 Sugar Nancy, 9H1 Golf Papa, and 9H1 Sugar Fox. Any other check-ins from stations connected to the 9H1 UHF repeater?
This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha, 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha, checking in. The name is Anthony, and no traffic. 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Shall I enter?
Okay, I hear 9H5 Fox Alpha, and there was another station. Please give a 5-second pause after my over, otherwise I won't be able to hear you through Echolink. Try again, please.
November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, if I am correct, Jerry. This is my rig 9 Hotel 5 2. My name, you can write it as I prevail in it. To you, Jerry. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, if I am right. This is 9 Hotel 5 Zulu Mike.
Okay, you're a bit scratchy into the machine. 9 Hotel 5 Zulu question mark. Or maybe you don't have another letter after Zulu. Is there another letter, or is it just 9 Hotel 5 Zulu? Go ahead.
Don't worry, Jerry, I will repeat it. My call sign Mike, okay?
9 Hotel 5 Zulu Mike, net control.
Okay, very good, Mark. Thank you for your help, and I got you. 9 Hotel 5 Zulu Mike checking in. Any other check-ins from the 9H-1 UHF repeater?
I will repeat. 9 Hotel 5 Zulu Mike. Last letter is Mike, M.
Roger, Roger. 9 Hotel 5 Zulu Mike. Very good. And I believe there may be the Gozo repeater linked to the Malta repeater. So, is the link up? And are there any stations that wish to check in through the Gozo repeater? This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control.
Nine Hotel 5 Bravo Zulu from the island of Gozo. My name is Dione. Location Gozo Island. Welcome. November 7 Alpha Kilo Whiskey. Welcome for this net. I am very happy to organize such a net. 985 Bravo Zulu. Thank you.
Okay, very good, Dione. 9 Hotel 5 Bravo Zulu. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. We copy you loud and clear. You have very little white noise on your signal. So any other stations from Gozo through the Gozo repeater, go now. Okay, let me pause again because I was hearing the repeater ID. Any other stations from the 9H-1 UHF or the Gozo repeater? Please come now.
Nine Hotel 5 Tango Sierra here.
Very good. I have 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sierra. Okay, now let's take some check-ins from people who are connected to 9H-1 UHF-R via Echolink. And please give a 5 to 6 second pause and let's go.
Nine Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra. 9 Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra. Charles Slema, Malta.
Very good, Charlie. 9H1FBS, I copy. I see some people connected to me. Please say hello to everybody and put your call sign out on the net. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control, standing by.
Victor 14 Mike India Fox. Joe, You're doing a good job there, Jerry. Take it, Carm. Over.
This is VE3 Mike Papa Uniform from Ontario, Canada. Good evening and good afternoon to you, Jerry. And I guess almost good night to the people in Gozo and in Malta. What am I talking about? It's still good evening. Daqshay green, Alistair Jerry, but I guess I'll be okay. G1 UFN, jekk għadek hemm, second.
Okay, G1 UFM returning to VE3 MPU in the group. Good evening all from Manchester, England. Right, I'll put it back to the net controller. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, Jerry, in a group G1 UFN. Okay, very good. I have 9H-1FBS, which I've called already, VE3MIF, VE3MPU, and Golf 1 Uniform Fox November. Any other stations linked via Echolink that wish to check in to our net this evening?
Kilo Charlie 1, November Oscar Charlie, KC1 NOC, the name is David. Hello to everyone on the net, no traffic.
Very good, Dave. I got you checked in. Kilo Charlie 1, November Oscar Charlie. Now, I believe there may be some people linked to Jitsi, and I'll either call on Tony or on Stephen, who probably are on Jitsi, to give us a relay for that. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, standing by.
Okay, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox. 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox. Okay, Jerry, very good. Here on Jitsi at the present time, there is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. There is also 9 Hotel 1 Mike Delta. 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Mike. There is also Trevor, 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sugar. There's also 9 Hotel 5 Queen Bravo. 9 Hotel 5 Queen Bravo. There's also another listener, but no call sign and no name, so I do not know who he is at the present time. So just greetings to everybody there, and thank you for coming in this evening. Jerry, the microphone back to you. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox with all the group.
Very good. This is 9... yeah, well, I could put my Maltese call sign out. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. I missed one of the call signs for Trevor, so can you please pass that to me so that I can confirm all the call signs on Jitsi? Go ahead.
November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox. The call sign again for Trevor is 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sugar. I repeat, 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sugar.
Is that a Roger, Jerry?
Yes, 100% copy. So the people on Jitsi are the following: 9 Hotel 5, Fox Alpha; 9 Hotel 1, Mike David; 9 Hotel 5, Fox Mike; 9 Hotel 5, Tango Sugar; and 9H5, Queen Bravo. Any other check-ins for the net, please come now. Okay, hearing none, we'll continue with the net. This is exciting. We have quite a few stations connected to the net and the 9H1 UHF repeater using various ways of connection. So that's great. Let's see where I am. I'm ahead of myself. Let's proceed to announcements. Does anybody have any announcements for the net? And, you know, announcement can be club general meeting notices, perhaps contests and special events, any testing, ham radio testing that may be done, or any other events that any of the clubs are doing at this time. And I know that the clubs are active on the island, and, you know, there may be nothing today, but it's a nice forum for everybody to listen to and tell us when the club meetings are. And I understand all about COVID and its restrictions, but there are still some activities that go on, or maybe other nets. You know, I'm sure you get the general idea. So let's see if there are any announcements. The first announcement would be mine. This net will be every 2 weeks on Thursday at 8 p.m. here where you are. Whether you're on Echolink or the 9H1 UHF repeater, perhaps the Gozo repeater or Jitsi, or just listening in on YouTube. Everybody is welcome. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, Net Control Station, for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM Global Net. Are there any announcements for the net?
Nine Hotel 5 Tango Sierra has an announcement, if I may.
Very good. 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sierra, go ahead with your announcement.
Thank you, Net Controller. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. Hello, everyone on this fabulous net this evening on the 9 Hotel 1 UHF repeater. I'm on board. Just a quick announcement, nothing extraordinary. Those on Jitsi, remember that you can be heard if you have your phone microphone open or your PC microphone open. 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox, I sent a mute command to your member there on Jitsi because you had a phone call, so to preserve your privacy. So take note of the mics open and close there on Jitsi. Other than that, well done to November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey and all the organizers and maintenance operators of this repeater. It's a fantastic initiative. And microphone back to the net controller. N7APW, go ahead. This is 9H5TS.
Yeah, Roger, very good. 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sugar. Thank you for that announcement. It's always nice when you're on a conference call, Zoom, Jitsi, or wherever, to mute your mic until you have something to say, because that noise will be part of what everybody else is listening to. And, you know, honestly and truthfully, it really happens to all of us at some point in time. I think the first time it happened to me, I sneezed, and everybody heard it and said, Gesundheit. Back to business. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. We now have a slot for discussion, and this discussion can be something as simple as we can talk about antennas, we can talk about something that somebody has built or something that somebody has experienced. I know there is activity on various digital modes, and so any topic that is of interest to ham radio, I'd like to hear one day about people like Fortu, who operates on the 10 gigahertz geostationary satellite. Unfortunately, the footprint of the satellite doesn't come up here, so we can't be a part of it. But I know that there's some activity there, and I listen online because otherwise I wouldn't be able to listen since I'm outside the footprint. So any topics to discuss, anything to share, anything we've built, and I see a lot of it on the 9H-HAM Facebook page, which is always nice, and you keep up with what people are doing. And if anything else for tonight, let's say the topic is, what would you like to hear on the net? This is the participants' net. It is shaped by the participants, and obviously it's for the participants. If anybody has any comment, I'm sure everybody would like to hear them, and obviously I would too. So, anybody have any comments? Please come now with your call sign, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. Okay, I hear nothing, but anybody with any comments for the net? Go ahead.
Okay, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox. Okay, very good evening there to everyone once again, and also to the people on duty, all the members here on duty. Regards the club, at the present time, Jerry, the clubs are closed, obviously because of COVID and the restrictions. We go up to the club in Mtarfa, Marconi Amateur Radio Circle, once, twice a week to check the post and also to do some maintenance and gardening and whatever. So that's the story about from our side at the present time, and we will be bringing the tower down to do maintenance on the antenna, and all even the tower needs to be greased up and everything else there. So the next few days we've got some high winds coming up, so maybe when that passes we will bring the tower down and do some maintenance work on that, Jerry. I'll pass the microphone back to you. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox.
Very good. Thank you for that. 9 Hotel 1 Sugar Fox, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. If anybody has any other comments, and think about a topic of discussion. It could be something simple. It could be something that you've come across that works for you like a charm, better than sliced bread, and you'd like to share it with everybody because it's really cool. Or, if you've heard discussion maybe on one of the repeaters that certain people were having issues and you have read or found a solution for something like that. It's a good place to share this stuff because a lot of people listen. A lot of people listen more than they talk. We have a nice group this evening, and it's always nice to share and to help other people, as we very well know. So, let me pause one more time and see if there are any comments or anything that needs to be added to the net this evening. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Good evening again. This is 9H-5SN, Marco in Mosta. I would like to make a small announcement, Jerry, about a silent key, which coincidentally today was his funeral. I want to make a remembrance for 9H1 Bravo Mike, Frank, a keen CW operator, and for many, many years he was a member of the MAR Club and a nice gentleman. So would like this evening that before we go to sleep, say just a little prayer for his soul, and God bless him. The call was 9H1 Bravo Mike, 9H1 BM Frank Mikalev, who just passed away at the beginning of this week. Anyway, I've just also made a phone call to Fortunat, 9H1ES, and he's going to join us also on the net when he switch on his radio. Back to you, Jerry, and 7APW, net controller on 9H1 UHF GlobalNet. This is not 9H-HAM GlobalNet, to be precise. This is 9H-5SN with all the group.
Which is Droid Star. It's very easy to configure, but one must get a DMR ID, and he can talk to all over the world also on that one. And the one for DPC, which works on Windows, is called Dude Star. So there's a software for DPC for Windows, which is called Dude Star, and the other one for a smartphone. I think it's only available on Android, not for iPhones, not for Apple. It's called Droid Star. And the last part I would like to point out is I'm not hearing any activity on the GoZo repeater, because you are referring to somebody to check in from the GoZo repeater. What I'm hearing is I think the crossband repeater that Diona made, but that's actually going out on 145.525. It's on a simplex frequency, so those people in GoZo who would like to join the net must tune their radio on 145.525 on a simplex frequency. Of course, Diona has got a good location there, and I have no doubts that they will be able to get through Diona's link there. So back to you. Those were my three main things that I wanted to tell you, net control. And 7APW with the group, 9H1 Golf Papa.
9H1 ESO frequency. Good evening.
That's nice. We have Furtu, so he can tell us about the satellite. Go ahead, net control.
Okay, very good, Mark. Thank you. You doubled with the 9 Hotel 5 Sugar Nancy. He won, and I'll tell you what we heard, and so you can share the rest. And good evening to 9 Hotel 1 Echo Sugar. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM Global Net. I'm sorry to hear about Frank, 9 Hotel 1 Bravo Mike. It's always sad when we hear silent key, and I hope that will be active keys for quite a long time. But sorry to hear about Frank. I know he was active on CW. Mark, 9 Hotel 1 Golf Papa. I hate to do this to you, but almost all you said about DMR, I think, was covered by 9 Hotel 5 Sugar Nancy through no fault of his own. It happens to us all the time. So if you could repeat that, we'd appreciate it. 9 Hotel 1 Golf Papa. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
QSL, okay. Let me see if I'm doubling. It seems I'm not. Okay, the first thing that I said is, unfortunately, about a month and a half ago, we had a problem on the Nashar site that we have. We had 2 repeaters there on the school of Nashar. And a month and a half ago we had a lightning strike and it burnt both repeaters. One was a digital one. It was a IASU system fusion, unfortunately, which is, I think, beyond economical repair. And the other one is an R6 VHF repeater. That is, at the moment, it's still working, but maybe we can try and fix it. We'll do our utmost to fix at least the R6, and then we can see what we can do about the UHF. The other thing, and I was telling about the MR, is that those people who might be interested for the MR and don't want to buy a radio, there is an application for Android. I'm not sure if it's for iPhone yet, but I don't think so, which is called the Droid Star. And one can download the app from Play Store, and it's easy to configure. The most important thing, one has got to apply for a DMR ID. So one has got to apply for a DMR ID. If one Google DMR ID, Googles it, he can get all the information. Or if somebody needs any help, just let me know. I'm okay in QRZ.com. And, you can send me an email or something, and then, I can call you or something like that. But there is Droid Star, which is for an Android phone, and then for Windows, there is also a same version for Windows one can use with the PC, which is called Dude Star. Those are the things that on the net. What I'm listening to is a crossband link with Dione. He made it on 145.525, and those people who are in Gozo, they have to go on a simplex link on 145.525. But I'm sure they will be able to be heard in Zebbuj because Dione has got a very good location. But I'm monitoring the Gozo repeater at the moment, and it's quiet. There is no activity on it. Back to you, Net Control, and thanks again. And 78PW, 9H1GP.
Excellent, Mark. Thank you for all that information. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, Net Control Station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. The ham meets every 2 weeks on Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Central European Time. And everybody is welcome. And this is fun. I'm enjoying myself. Let me take a pause now. Are there any other check-ins? And I have 9H1 Echo Sugar checked in, but are there any other check-ins for the net this evening? And please give a 5 to 7 second pause between call signs. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey standing by. I hear no further check-ins. By the way, if someone is more comfortable speaking in Maltese, I don't think, honestly, anybody will have an issue with that. So the reason we're holding it in English is because there might be some people like Dave, KC1NOC, who, although he is my friend, hasn't mastered the Maltese language yet. But otherwise, if it's more convenient and more comfortable to speak in Maltese, please feel free to do so. This is your net. Anyway, good evening, 9H1 Echo Sugar. If you have some time, I was suggesting maybe you could tell us some information and share with us some of your experiences using the geostationary satellite. And I forgot its call sign now, but I'm sure you know it. 9 Hotel 1 Echo Sugar and the group with net, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Okay, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
This is 9H-1 Echo Sierra return. Okay, very good evening to everybody, and I am glad that I am in QSO with you. Of course, the signal is very strong. I am sitting down here in my shack and enjoying your conversation. Okay, today I was at the funeral of 9H-1PM, and it was sad. And about 5 months ago, he gave me a Marconi vintage radio, vintage transmitter, and I am very pleased with it because it operates on VLF. Right. And regarding my experience on the geostation in the satellite, the Quebec Oscar 100, it's a very, very good satellite. It's a very good satellite, very easy to communicate. With a few euros you can go through it, and you can see all the spectrum on your PC, all the spectrum of the satellite. You can send the W, data, pictures, whatever, everything. And you can communicate between Brazil and Malaysia and South Africa to the North Pole. No problem at all. Once they are available, the radio amateurs, you are in QSO. Signal strength, very little vary, no QSB, and so on. And very simple to make QSOs with the geo satellite. Unfortunately, it doesn't cover USA, but I work Brazil, North, very easy, and there is also part of it. There is few kilohertz, which is for emergency frequency also. It is very interesting and nice to get into it. Okay, so I pass it on. Okay, Jerry, I am very pleased that I am talking with you, and I remember you with you and your brother at school at Technical Institute, bringing your brother for radio amateurs, but forget that building, and now that building have been demolished, and now they are erecting a new building. So forget that. So forget that building. Okay, so back to you, Jerry, and back to you, Jerry, the net controller. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey for the group, 9H-1 here.
Well, thank you very much, Fortu. It's nice to hear your voice again, too. 9 Hotel 1, Echo Sugar. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Yes, a lot of memories, and we were close in call sign, too, because my Maltese call sign was 9 Hotel 1, Echo Fox, and yours is still 9H-1, Echo Sugar. That's wonderful. It's nice to hear your voice. Long time. Okay, let's see if there are any comments or questions for Fortu, or the discussion that he just shared with us. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, standing by.
9H-1 Fox Bravo Sugar with a comment.
Okay, Charlie, go ahead.
Okay, Roger, thank you very much. First of all, I say hello to everybody. I'm still trying to get down that dude star for my computer, Mark, so maybe I will take you up on your offer and call you up. I didn't manage to
still here, or was everything disconnected? Because Charlie will ask him. And 7APW and on H1GP.
SD, I think it's called. That is very close to there. So she's now, of course, qualified and very happily working. But it's a pity that it holds a lot of memories. I remember once we were caught in a very bad storm, but we managed to make it back to, in those days, Birkirkara. I won't keep you any longer, but very, very good. Thank you all for joining the net this evening, and of course, I have to thank myself because I'm here. Hi. N7APW. I always get your old call sign mixed up with your new one, Jerry boy. N7APW, 9H1FBS with the net.
That's okay, Charlie. You're probably getting old, just like the rest of us, at the same rate, too. Okay, are there any late check-ins for the net before I close the net? Or is there anybody else with any comments for the net this evening before we call it good? November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
N7APW, KC1NOC. I have a quick comment, Jerry, if it's okay, DMR related.
Okay, very good. KC1NOC and 7APW.
Thank you, Jerry, and 7APW, KC1NOC. Well, hello to everybody on the net and in the group. My name is David. I'm located in Sherman, Maine, northern Maine in the USA, right up by the Canadian border at New Brunswick. I just wanted to bring up that anybody that uses DMR, we have a little talk group on TAC 314. Jerry, N7APW, is in on it. Charlie, 9H1FBS, and we have probably 4, 5, 6 other stations that come in, and we don't have any set time for a meeting or anything like that. We just all get together and we like to rag chew. We talk about just about anything and everything. So we're always looking for new people to come in and join us. We just love to sit down and chew rags and rag chew and then chew some more rags. That's what we do. So all are invited. That's DMR TAC 314. Would love to hear some Maltese people come in with us. Alrighty, thank you, Jerry. N7APW, KC1NOC. Microphone to you, Jerry.
Very good, Dave. Thank you very much. Is there anything else for the net before I close the net? November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, this is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha, with a short comment, please.
Nine Hotel 5 Fox Alpha, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. Go ahead, please.
November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. So I've got one short comment is that after the net is closed, we will be streaming the news headlines from Amateur Radio Newsline, the latest news headlines, which are a 3-minute stream, followed by the full news bulletin, which is a 20-minute stream of the 5th of February, which is at the moment, because we're fully acknowledging the amateur radio Newsline services for the One other little comment I was going to ask was perhaps I was wondering whether 9 Hotel 1 Echo Sierra Full 2 could perhaps provide us with some information about the antenna hardware required for geostationary satellite relay radio communication. I mean, coming from perhaps he might have sort of provide some information about the hardware required for those who are not familiar with this mode of communication. Just a question from my end is supposed to November 7 Alpha Papa with the Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Okay, very good. 9 Hotel 5 Fox Alpha, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, Net Control. Where is the stream for Newsline going to be? Go ahead.
On November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, on the same channel. So if you just stay on the same channel, I'm going to stream the Newsline on this same channel, and it's going to be acknowledged. The source is going to be fully acknowledged. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
I'm assuming you're referring to the YouTube channel, is that correct?
Correct, I'm referring to the YouTube channel. It will not be streamed on the Echo Link or on the repeater, just on the YouTube channel.
Okay, very good. 9 Hotel 5 Fox Alpha. And he had a question for you, 9 Hotel 1 Echo Sugar. Could you provide some more information about the hardware, maybe on the 9H-HAM Facebook page, so that if people are interested in working the satellite, they'll know what equipment they need. If you're still listening, 9 Hotel 1 Echo Sugar, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, Jerry, net controller. This is 9 Hotel 1 Echo Sierra for the group. Okay, regarding the satellite, it's very simple. Listen, for me it's very simple because I am very active in microwave. But with a little knowledge, very little knowledge, you can go to the satellite very easy. Because available there is a small transverter which costs not more the DDX patrol, we call it. It costs only about €100, not more. And then you apply Wi-Fi amplifier, which costs very little money, right? And you place them in front of a satellite dish, a normal satellite dish. If it is 80 centimeters or 60 centimeters, it's good. Some radio amateurs, they are using two dishes, one for transmit and for receive, because the transmission is different on the receiver. And then there are available LMB, like of television satellite, LMB. And they are GPS controlled, about €25 or €30, something like that. Not much. And there are many information about the Quebec Oscar 100. It's good to place them behind the dish. I place them behind the dish, not the transmitter. There I have a 4 meter cable. I have a losses of about 2 watts. And you need only, as a RF power, for the transmitter, you need only 2 watts, not more. If you go more than 2 watts, you will overload the satellite, and then you will receive alarm. You will receive watch. Some people have 5 watts, 6 watts, but due to loss of data. So with the satellite dish, you can with the satellite dish you can use it and the people is very easy to make them. Just like a copper pipe and the copper pipe and connected directly to the LNB, with the system that may connect a small length of copper cable with it. This you will lose VHF or UHF transceiver for transmit and for transmit. And currently you can use as some pictures on the 9H on the 9H group. Then I will send some pictures. Back to you. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, Hotel 1 Echo 0, over.
"9H1 Echo Sugar with the group, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey." You sound like you're on your rocking chair. You were kind of scratchy into the machine, and we didn't get the last part. You said something about the 9H-HAM, probably the Facebook page. Otherwise, you know, there is some noise on your signal, but the last part you dropped out. So can you repeat the last part for us, please?
I think the bus is coming down because my transceiver. The bus is coming down. Go ahead, over.
Okay, very good. 9H1 Echo Sugar, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. Would it be correct to say, and just give me a Roger, that you're going to put some information up on the 9H-HAM Facebook page? Is that correct for it to go ahead?
Roger, on the 9H1, on the 9H Facebook.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all that information. Does anybody have anything else for the net this evening? November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox. I just have a quick message from 9 Hotel 5 Queen Bravo. Message from 9 Hotel 5 Queen Bravo. He would like to send his greetings there to 9 Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra, Charles there. 9 Hotel 5 Queen Bravo said hello to you there, and also good evening from his side. 9 Hotel 1 FPS, I hope you got that. I will pass the mic back to the net controller, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Very good, 100% copy. Anything else for the net this evening?
"9H1 FBS with a short one."
To Charlie, 9H1 FBS, long time, long see, Charlie. Back to you, Jerry, over.
Very good, Fortu. Go ahead, Charlie, with your quick comment.
Yeah, well, the quick comment is to Joe, 9H1 Quebec Baker. Greetings to you. thank you, Fortunato. Greetings to you too. That's a good one, huh? Long time no see. Okay, gentlemen, mostly I think we are men here. I greet you all, and I'll try to be on in 2 weeks' time. Back to you, and 7APW, 9H-1FBS.
Okay, very good, Charlie. One last time. Anything else for the net this evening?
Jerry, yes, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey 9 Hotel 1 Echo Sierra before the party goes down. They said that the U.S. are going to place a satellite, a geostationary satellite. Please, could you confirm this over?
I haven't heard about it yet. I will research it, and I will give you an answer on our next net. That would be great. Then I'll be talking to you on how to set up my station. I would definitely be interested. Thank you, Fortu. Go ahead.
November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey 9 Hotel 1 Echo Sierra. They said that they are going to link them, to link the two satellites and cover the U.S. And on the same satellite, is Quebec Oscar 100, you can see also the Arab stations. In fact, to provide supply to the LMB, I bought TV viewers, and you can see also while you are talking and so on, you can see the programs. You can see the programs from the of the Kuwait and so many things. But my bus is coming down for you, Jerry. Over.
That's excellent. Very good news, because I've been waiting for it. The satellites we have that cover the U.S. are now AMSAT satellites, and they're not geostationary. Geostationary, you just aim it and you talk all the time, not only when the satellite is above the horizon. Okay, I believe there's nothing else for the net. I really would like to thank everybody for joining the net this evening, and with no additional traffic or comments for the net, this is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. My name is Jerry, Net Control Operator for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. There were a total of 19 check-ins for tonight's net. That's a very nice number for the first net. I'd like to thank the repeater trustees for the 9H1 UHF repeater for the use of their repeater. I would also like to thank everybody else who linked us to Jitsi and those who came in on Echolink onto the 9H1 UHF-R link. The public service net, I'll remind you again, meets every 2 weeks on Thursday night at 8 p.m. local time or Central European time. I would like to thank everybody who has checked into tonight's net, and I am now returning the use of the repeater and all links to normal amateur radio use. This is Jerry, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, 73s to all, and good evening.
From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2257, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021. An update on the Bouvet Island 3 Yankee 0 India D expedition. All of the teams are pushing to make it happen in 2021.
Paperwork and equipment checks have kept some members of the Rebel DX group occupied since their arrival in Cape Town, South Africa in early 2021. The team writes on the DX News website and their Facebook page, quote, "The Bouvet trip is on track," end quote. They report that they're going forward with a 2021 DXpedition in spite of not yet having the full operating budget, noting that they're not applying to any DX foundations or clubs for assistance. Polish DXpeditioner Dom3Z9DX has organised this trip, which is the team's second attempt at the sub-Antarctic island, one of the most coveted DXs on the planet. The expeditioner's first attempt in 2019 was scrapped by the ship's captain after a severe cyclone swept in, damaging the vessel and making a safe landing unlikely. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm John Williams, VK4JJW.
Not all organizers of amateur radio events are looking to cancel their plans for 2021. With COVID-19 precautions in place, Europe's major gathering is feeling optimistic about its summer plans.
Mark your calendars for now. A COVID-19 safety and hygiene plan has been drawn up to enable Ham Radio Friedrichshafen to take place between June 25th and 27th in Germany. Details have been released by the organisers and the DARC, who are hoping to avoid the second cancellation of the largest amateur radio convention in Europe. The safety procedures are outlined on the event website and give details about mask and disinfectant use, as well as cleaning, distancing and contact tracing that will be taking place. The procedures also outline other ways to avoid contact, which include the absence of greeting rituals and cashless payment for anything purchased. For a link to an online PDF outlining the precautions, see the printed version of this week's Amateur Radio Newsline script. The information will be updated in the weeks ahead. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Ed Durant, DD5LP.
The Parker probe sent out by NASA has just made a close encounter of the solar kind.
For the first time since last September, NASA's Parker Solar Probe spacecraft made a close approach to the Sun just as solar activity began to kick into high gear. From a distance of 8.4 million miles, or 13.5 million kilometers, the probe made its approach on Sunday, January 17th. There was plenty of data for it to collect, especially with solar cycle 25 now well underway. Last November, the Sun had its first major flare in 3 years. NASA has planned 4 close approaches to the Sun this year, along with 2 flybys of Venus, with the first one happening on February 20th. After that, it's back to the Sun for another close look on April 29th. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at arnewsline.org. With John Williams, VK4JJW, Ed Durant, DD5LP, Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wellbanks, AE5DW. 7-3. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.
Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2258, with a release date of Friday, February 5th, 2021, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. In Canada, a microwave solution for MCOM needs. Restoration begins on wartime code machines and the space station contact that wasn't. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2258 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now reporting from Charleston, West Virginia, here's Jim Dameron, N8TMW.
January 28th was supposed to be a day to remember for students in Newcastle, Wyoming. They had an on-air date with the International Space Station. It never happened due to technical troubles, however, making it a day to remember for the crew and the ARIS program. Paul Brown, WD9GCO, explains.
As students at Newcastle High School in Wyoming waited for their chance for a radio contact with the ISS, Jan ON7UX, the Telebridge station in Belgium, called as ON4ISS as the spacecraft came up on his horizon, but only noise came back. Several minutes passed as Jan kept trying, still nothing. Science teacher Jim Stith, KI7URL, had helped prep the students on radio protocol in anticipation of their questions to Mike Hopkins, KF5LJG. Ultimately, however, that contact never happened. ARIS Executive Director Frank Bauer, KA3HDO, said in a press release later that a technical problem had apparently taken the ISS radio out of service. He said that additional troubleshooting was needed, but possibilities point to trouble with the new external RF cable recently installed or related to the interior coax cable. The press release said that NASA has opened a payload anomaly report for the issue. In the meantime, ARIS has asked Sergei Semburov, who heads the Russian team, whether the Russians' radio can be used for school contacts until the problem can be resolved. The Wyoming students have been told that their contact will be rescheduled. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
The SpaceX launch late last month set records for the number of satellites aboard, but hams are especially interested in one, as Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, tells us.
When a record number of small satellites left Earth aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket on Sunday, January the 24th, France's UV-SQ-SAT satellite carrying an FM amateur radio transponder was amongst them. The satellite is focusing on broadband measurements of Earth radiation budget and on solar spectral irradiance in the Hertzberg continuum. Amateur radio operators are being encouraged to contact the satellite also. To this end, AMSAT Francophone is providing hams with software to receive, interpret and upload telemetry to the AMSAT F server or the SatNogs database. The software runs on both Linux and Windows platforms. Designed by Latmos, the satellite has had its frequencies coordinated by the IARU. The Saint-Quentin-en-Yvelines Radio Club F6 KRK was also involved in the project. It was among the 143 satellites carried on the SpaceX's first dedicated smallsat rideshare program mission, which broke the previous record of 104 simultaneous launches aboard an Indian Polar Satellite launch vehicle in 2017. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Let's face it, no one likes clutter, not in the shack and certainly not out in space where CubeSats and other amateur radio satellites keep us connected. Well, help with the cleanup has arrived. Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, has details.
It's called the iodine thruster, and it hates space junk so much that it's helping prevent it using an unconventional non-toxic propellant, iodine. The electronic thruster is being used to control a satellite's height above the Earth. That means that when a satellite reaches the end of its mission, it can be sent down into the atmosphere where it can safely burn up rather than add more dead clutter to the skies. The device has already proven its worth. It successfully changed the orbit of a commercial research nanosat that was launched last November. Iodine is seen as an ideal propellant to use for this technology because it's solid at room temperature and pressure, becoming gas when it's heated without having to liquefy first. It only takes up a small space on board the satellite. This technology isn't just for dead and dying satellites, however. Experts speculate it can help small CubeSats extend their mission lifetimes before dying because the thruster can raise the satellite's orbits if they start to drift back toward Earth. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Neil Rapp, WB9VPG.
The Australian Communications and Media Authority has some new proposals that hams are watching. Robert Broomhead, VK3DN, tells us what's involved.
A call has been put out for enthusiastic recruits to serve the Royal Australian Air Force. No, not for military duty, but to become airborne nonetheless via the radio as part of one of two special event stations marking the 100th anniversary of the RAAF. Hams will be using the call signs VI100AF and VK100AF from the 1st of March to the 29th of March for 100 days. The Air Force's actual birthday is March the 31st. On that date in 1921, the RAAF became an independent service from the Army. It's the world's second oldest air force. In its roots are with the Australian Flying Corps, which sent troops during World War I to serve in the Middle East and European theatres. Activations can be done at the home QTH, at a club or even a park or SOTA location. There are plans to operate 4 Air Force bases as well. Time for Aussie hams to register is short. Organisers are hoping to release the roster for both call signs sometime around the 5th of February. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Robert Broomhead, VK3DN.
If restoring old boat anchors or even making ancient straight keys usable is a challenge that appeals to you, consider this monumental task being undertaken in Germany right now. Ed Durant, DD5LP, tells us about it.
It looks like the restoration experts at Germany's State Archaeological Museum in Schleswig-Holstein are looking at additional work. After starting the 1 year's desalination and restoration work on a World War II Enigma machine found in the Baltic Sea off the northeast coast of Germany in December last year, another 6 units have been found. Unfortunately, many of this find had been made unusable before they were thrown into the sea from German warships at the end of the Second World War. The machines, which resemble old typewriters, have inner workings that include 3 interchangeable rotors used to scramble messages. These messages were then sent using Morse code to another ship or land station that had another Enigma machine to decode the message. Restored Enigma machines have been shown and operation demonstrated both at Friedrichshafen and Dayton Hamfests. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Ed Durant, DD5LP.
Amateur radio operators in India are being credited with helping make an important contact in Australia, but the communication here has nothing to do with DXing. Jason Daniels, VK2LAW, tells us what happened.
A man who has been found wandering disoriented on the streets of Kolkata, India several weeks ago has been identified as an Australian citizen with the help of local amateur radio operators. According to a report in the Times of India, the 69-year-old man, who is of Indian origin, is from Sydney, Australia. He's been in one of the local state-run hospitals since he was found. The West Bengal Amateur Radio Club intervened at the request of local health department officials who wanted the man's family located and knew the club has a long track record of helping reunite families. Ambarish Nag Biswas, Victor Uniform 2 Juliet Foxtrot Alpha Club Secretary, said although they were still missing some details, paperwork found in the man's possession indicated he was residing in Sydney but had formerly owned property in India. The newspaper report said the man speaks English, but appears to have some kind of mental disorder. The Australian Deputy High Commissioner's office in Kolkata told the newspaper that efforts are underway to contact his family members. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the K3ALG repeater in Palmerton, Pennsylvania, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. local time. For one ham club in Canada, emergency response doesn't just consist of HTs, repeaters, and HF radios. Radio operators there are hoping they can soon assist local responders by getting their microwave network in the game. Christian Kudnick, K0STH, has that story.
The Kamloops Amateur Radio Club, which already provides emergency support on the ground throughout its region in British Columbia, sees even more potential in their mountaintop-to-mountaintop broadband network. They're offering to open its use to the TNRD, the regional governing body, in the hopes that the microwave link's internet connectivity and large data bandwidth can provide an additional resource for local emergency operation centers in the case of wildfires or other calamities. Club President Miles, VE7FSR, said the idea of providing the TNRD, or Thompson-Nicola Regional District, with a higher level of assistance was inspired by a 2017 wildfire in the region. He and some friends in the British Columbia Wireless Amateur Radio Network recalled how the blaze had hampered the Emergency Operations Center's abilities to communicate vital information. Miles told Newsline that for the region's various municipalities to utilize the club's high-speed microwave system, they need to first establish that they have line of sight with the mountaintops and then install dishes there to connect with the EOCs below. Miles said this sort of operation has come of age. EOCs, he said, are more dependent than ever on internet access because the data bandwidth is so much greater there than on VHF, UHF, and especially HF. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Christian Kudnick, K0STH.
Winter Field Day was a little bit different this year for some hams in Georgia. Kevin Trotman, N5PRE, tells us how they spent it.
The Macon, Georgia shopping mall, known as the Shops at River Crossing, became part of a Winter Field Day activity. And even the mall's security department got in on the action. Hams were using the occasion to demonstrate analog and digital HF operations, as well as UHF, VHF, and D-Star. According to David Johnson, KF4ALH, Emergency Coordinator for Macon Bibb Aries, this field day activity is more about scoring big points on education and public relations instead of points in a contest. Hams from Macon Bibb County Aries were joined by the Macon Bibb County EMA Volunteer Group, Macon Amateur Radio Club, the Monroe County Aries Group, and the Monroe County Amateur Radio Society. The hams gave science lessons and history lessons along with a basic look on how amateur radio works and the role it plays when hurricanes sweep through. David said a few visitors seemed interested in learning more and doing more. He added, quote, "Even if one new person gets the amateur radio bug from our event, I consider that a bonus." For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Kevin Trotman, N5PRE.
A special event is celebrating 100 years since the creation of the Royal Australian Air Force. Robert Broomhead has that story.
A call has been put out for enthusiastic recruits to serve the Royal Australian Air Force. No, not for military duty, but to become airborne nonetheless via the radio as part of one of two special event stations marking the 100th anniversary of the RAAF. Hams will be using the call signs VI100AF and VK100AF from the 1st of March to the 29th of March for 100 days. The Air Force's actual birthday is March the 31st. On that date in 1921, the RAAF became an independent service from the Army. It's the world's second oldest air force. In its roots are with the Australian Flying Corps, which sent troops during World War I to serve in the Middle East and European theatres. Activations can be done at the home QTH, at a club or even a park or SOTA location. There are plans to operate 4 Air Force bases as well. Time for Aussie hams to register is short. Organisers are hoping to release the roster for both call signs sometime around the 5th of February. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Robert Broomhead, VK3DN.
Word from Ofcom in the UK has clarified some long-standing confusion over licensing responsibilities in the British and Arctic Territory region. Hams seeking new VP8 licenses to operate in the Antarctic and South Georgia have learned they will only be able to use those licenses on the Falkland Islands. On the other hand, hams with existing VP8 calls may use them temporarily in the British Atlantic Territories, South Sandwich, and South Georgia, as well as in the Falklands, until the licensing responsibilities are better defined. Ofcom noted that the British Atlantic Territories, South Georgia, and South Sandwich Islands cannot issue their own licenses or assign call signs. Ofcom left the option open for those locales to ask the Falkland Islands to administer licensing and call signs on their behalf, as had been the case up until early 2020. In the world of DX, listen for the members of the Kuwait Amateur Radio Society operating as 9K60NLD throughout the month of February. This is a special event celebrating Kuwait's 60th National Day, which is February 25th, and Liberation Day, which is February 26th. QSL via 9K2RA. In Mozambique, Bruno CS7AMN will be using the call sign C91BVA from Maputo starting February 18th. Be listening on 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10 meters, where he will be using single sideband and the digital modes. QSL via LOTW by the Bureau via CS7AMN, Club Log, or EQSL. In Germany, members of the local branch Kirpen G29 have begun operating with the special event call sign DC220GERKE and will remain on the air through April 31st. They're celebrating the 220th birthday of Friedrich Clemens Goethe, who revised the Morse code telegraphy system into the standardized form we know today as the International Morse Code. QSL via DJ6SI, direct or by the Bureau. Finally, if you've got an appetite for a good story, our final report this week is about some high-flying hunger in space that led the hams on board to engage in a bit of dietary diplomacy. Mike Askins, KE5CXP, serves this one to us.
Whoever said hams love a good meal so much they're unwilling to share their food may have eaten their way through more than a few ham fests, but they haven't been on board the International Space Station. Astronauts and cosmonauts not only appreciate one another's space-friendly cuisine, but are required by NASA to do pre-flight sampling of the international goodies for the sake of their in-flight stomachs. So when the two U.S. astronauts heard their Russian colleagues learned they would have a 2-month delay in their next shipment of food, meal sharing was the only solution. Kate Rubens, KG5FYJ, Victor Glover, KI5BKC, Mike Hopkins, KF5LJG, and Shannon Walker, KD5DXB, stepped up to the plate, so to speak. Sergei Ryzhikov, one of the two cosmonauts, reported that the 13 containers of the Americans' food were even provided free of charge. That should be sufficient for the two cosmonauts until February 15. According to a report from the Russian state-owned news site RIA Novosti, that's when the next shipment is scheduled. With the ISS traveling at speeds of up to 17,100 miles an hour, you might even consider this to be fast food. Very fast food. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Mike Askins, KE5CXP.
Mike, do you get fries with that? With thanks to the ACMA, airforce.gov.au, Amateur News Weekly, AMSAT, ARIS, the ARRL, Central Coast Amateur Radio Club, CQ Magazine, David Bayer, K7DB, David Johnson, KF4ALH, Latmos, Live Science, phys.org, Miles Bruns, VE7SFR, NASA, Ohio Penn DX Newsletter, OpenFalklands.com, QRZ.com, Southgate Amateur Radio News, ShortwaveRadio.de, Space.com, Ted Randall's QSO Radio Show, RIA Novosti, Spaceflight Now, The Times of India, The Wireless Institute of Australia, WTWW Shortwave, YouTube, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. Please send emails to our address at newsline@arnewsline.org. More information is available at Amateur Radio Newsline's only official website at arnewsline.org. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Jim Dameron, N8TMW in Charleston, West Virginia, saying 73. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2021, all rights reserved.